Hey everybody, my name is Izzy. I'm going to do a tutorial on Torque Game Engine 4.0.3 from a noob's perspective. I've been fooling with this about a month. I am actually new to the Torque Game Engine, but I am not new to this type of engine. I have been a modder on the engine before this one that was actually used to create Torque in 1998 for about 27 years. So I've been playing that game for 27 years. The game was Star Siege Tribes. Several other games was made with the engine before this one, which was called Dark Star. Dark Star is a very interesting and capable engine. It's just outdated now and it's unable to be used for game making. But I was able to actually reverse engineer that engine and able to figure out how to make new weapons, new shapes for that game without any help at all, without any documentation. So this is the predecessor that came afterwards. This was actually the Dark Star engine before it was Torque. It was created by Dynamics, I guess you could call it, back in the 90s. Featured one of the most high-tech AI systems ever created. Back then it was actually used, from what I understand, to train military personnel, soldiers. It was called the Bayesian network. But we're going to talk about Torque today. When I started on Torque about 3 weeks ago, I couldn't figure anything out. This was the craziest, most confusing thing I'd ever seen in my life. And I just now have gotten to the point, like I said, this is a noob's perspective. This isn't something like, I'm not an expert at this, but I'm going to get you through creating a terrain, importing your materials. I'm going to get you through importing shapes. We'll briefly go over Blender, and we're going to go over maybe even a player character. I'll teach you how to do the terrains as well, which was extremely confusing. So if you're watching this, hold on to your hat. So first thing you want to do is download Torque. Do not download the version that you got to compile if you don't know how. This tells you how to do it. You got to download this thing called CMake. Then you got to download the binaries. It's very confusing. What I do is I just go down here and I download the version of Torque already compiled, okay? So you want to download the version of Torque that's already compiled. You don't want to have to go through and compile all this stuff if you don't know how to. If you're new to this stuff, it's all you're going to do is compile the exact same thing you're going to download. So if I go down here, if I go down back to my desktop here and I go to my download files, just don't look at all that stuff, you're going to see the Torque 3D 403 Win binaries. So you want to just extract those somewhere in your C colon. If it'd probably be best. I just extracted these over there to the C colon, and they're already extracted. So all I did was just downloaded the files already compiled instead of trying to compile them myself. Save you a ton of time, save you a ton of headache. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to go over to that. Where I put this on here. You might see a couple different Torques. There's Torque 3D Test. That's the one I'm actually fooling with right now. But that ain't the one I want to show you. The Torque whatever is the one I just actually put on here fresh. So this is a fresh copy. So one thing you're going to need, one thing you want to look at when you first open this up is you're like, okay, so it's just a bunch of crap. It looks like a game. It does look like a game. It is a game, actually. The game's already here. But what you have to do is put your stuff in it. So one thing you want to notice is this data folder. And in this data folder, you'll see a bunch of stuff here. You'll see game UI. UI means like your game screen when you first start the game, like where you got your buttons and everything where you want to click. And this is your splash screen and stuff like that. So one thing I like to do is just add a folder called Shapes. You don't have to. You can call it whatever you want. But I like to add a folder called Shapes, and I like to add a folder called Images. Okay, so that's what I do. I just put a folder called Shapes, folder called Images. All right. So right now we don't have any images, and that's another thing. So you can use images as long as they're square. So what I recommend using is like 1024 by 1024 or even 2048 by 2048. I'm just going to steal some images from this Torque demo that I downloaded called Pacific whatever, and I'm just going to go under here and steal some of their images real quick. So literally I'm going to go in here if I can figure out how. Where would they keep them at? Probably in this core folder under art. Like, this is an older version of Torque. I don't care. I just want their images. Okay, so skies. Those aren't very good images. That sucks. Shapes. Let's see what kind of shapes we got. We got a bunch of shapes in here. I don't care about those right now. I'm going to show you how to make shapes in Blender. So, anywho, let's don't worry about that right now. Let's go ahead and let's go back to that, what we just unzipped, which is this right here. Is this it? Yeah. And let's click on the Torque 3D icon, okay? Should load up and say Torque. Apologize, I got a cold. Reason I'm doing this tutorial is there's no tutorials anywhere online that shows you anything about Torque 4.0.3. I guess maybe because Torque is freeware now, or okay, it doesn't matter. Anyway, we're here at the main screen of the Torque 3D. This is your GUI screen, or UI. So what we want to do here is we want to open the world editor. I'm going to briefly go through the world editor. That's something you're going to have to probably figure out on your own. The world editor is a behind-the-scenes editor, which basically lets you create your own game within a game. The game's there. It's already there, but it's just empty. There's nothing here. See, here's the game. It's there, but there's nothing there. So you can use your mouse. You can hold your right mouse button. You can move around. You can use your WSAD to move around as well. Okay. All right, this is going to be a pretty quick introduction. Up here is one of your most important tabs. It's called Editors tab. In the Editors tab, you've got Object Editor, Terrain Painter, Material Editor, Sketch Tool. Don't let this scare you, because you'll figure all this out. You got your Data Block Editor. Hell, you can even come down to the River Editor and lay a nice, beautiful river in there, or a lake if you want to. It's just so pretty. It's pretty easy, actually, to be honest with you. So the thing we want to talk about right now is the Terrain Editor. This is going to be our first thing here, because I had so much trouble with figuring out how to put materials into this game. I've never seen anything so aggravating in my life. So the first thing we're going to need is some images. We don't have any images for our game yet, but I want to. I don't want my terrain to look like this. You know, I don't think anything would want to be able to stand on that. I'm holding the mouse button down while I'm moving this thing around. Okay. So we can go over and click on ground plane, and as we can see right here, our ground plane just has this yucky gray thing on it. Okay. Now we can change that if we had an image, which we don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal some images from my other little thing I've been working on here. So I've got some images over here, okay? And there should be something in here called terrains somewhere. Terrains, here we go. So I got these off the internet. They were in an older version of Torque demo or something. So I'm just going to select all these and Control C. And then I'm going to go back to the one that we're working on. Okay, so that was what? Torque whatever, I think what we called it. So I'm going to go back into the data. And let's find that folder we made earlier called images. There it is, images. Control V. Okay, so I just stuck all those freaking images. Just delete these, whatever these TMLs are. I know what they are, but we don't need those for what I'm trying to show you here. So what we need to do is go back to our Torque. Okay, so now we're back in Torque. In order to add a material to this engine, oh my God, it was so confusing. It took me so long. I had to have help from people that on the forums and everything. So in order to add a material, and I'm probably wrong about a lot of this, people. Like I said, this is a noob's perspective. I'm just going to hit, you can go to the material editor, which is right here. See the material editor? You can go there, and then you can just click on one of these particular things, which I'm going to click on this gray here. which is going to change this. And what you need to do is you need to go to the plus sign. See where it says the plus sign? Go down to create an art asset. It's going to ask you, do you want to create a material, terrain material, or create an image or terrain data? So we're going to just create a terrain material. Okay? It's going to ask you which module you want to use. Some of the folders in this game are modules. Don't ask me what that means because I could not even tell you. Somebody else might tell you in the comments. So I'm going to use the UI module, which is what we said earlier. And the target path it says here is data UI, which for right now I don't care. That's just going to put it in this UI folder right here. We're going to call this a grass. Okay? And we're going to hit done. Okay, after you hit done, go over here to this button here. This lets you search for a particular image. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to data, and we're going to go to images, which is our images that we just put in here, and we're going to select some grass. Okay, it's going to ask you right here, are you sure you want to put some grass in there? There's the grass. And it's going to ask you again what kind of target module you want. So I'm just going to put UI right here. Okay, all I did was select this little folder right here at the top. I selected the UI folder. It automatically made it UI. Hit done. I don't know why the folders are. You can make any folder you want a module. All you do is like right click on it. Alright, so hit done. There we go. See, the dirt and grass image showed up, right? Okay, so now it's in this UI folder. So I can go over here and I can click this now. And I can select the dirt and grass. And there you go. Now we have grass on this big old giant plane of nothingness here. Okay, now I'm going to show you another trick. This trick's important. Sorry for the background noise. I got cats going nuts. You can add the entire folder. You can add the entire folder. All you have to do is go back into your material editor like this. Click back on this little whatever it is. Alright, go down to where your images are. See where it says images? No, not that one. We're not in there. We are here. We're here. Okay. You see this little triangle right here? Now, this triangle might not be on your... Yeah, it should be because this is a fresh install. Okay. Click on this triangle right here. And it should download all of the images for you. So it'll ask you right here, find all loose files that are of simple type and automatically import them? Yes. I did notice that if I go under here, was this it? Somewhere you can turn off the error messages, and it seems like it helps some. But you can click this right here under a certain, and if you've got files that haven't been imported yet, they will all import into the same folder. Or if you've got shapes as well. Shapes is a little more complicated than this. We'll have to get in a Blender on that. So, anywho, that's just, I wanted to show you that you can click on a folder. Take this one for example. We could use any of these because they're already on here. But these are the images. These are the images we put in here earlier, right? Now if I wanted to manually put in an image, all I'd have to do is just like we did earlier, just add this, go to an art asset. You can create a material. Whatever, you can use any module. The new material, just hit done, and then possibly bring them all in that way. Excuse me, I have a cold. Okay, regardless, I'm gonna have to move on. If I showed you my other one, you would see that my other version, you have to turn off some of the error messages. Let me see something here. We're going to images. We can add, let's add rock. Let's add rock to the UI now. or the example module or somewhere. Create an RSet, trade material. It's going in the data UI folder. I'm just going to call it rock. And then we're going to just go here. We're going to put rock in there. Or just something rock, I don't care. Rock, it's going in the data UI, import options. You see this pencil right here? This is where you can edit the error control stuff. Look, prevent imports with errors. Just turn that crap off because you're going to be importing a lot of stuff. Just hit apply. Hit done. You can go back over here to images now, and you should be able to import all those. But we're going to have to move on with this real quick because I'm going to run out of time. So if you go back over here to this, you click it, you should still see your grass in there. This is your normal map, all that stuff. All that's going to do is just, you'll have to relight the scene. Just delete this one for right now. So, okay, so next thing we're going to talk about here is we're going to talk about importing a shape. Shapes have to be in DAE format. DAE format, okay? So, what I'm going to do here real quick is jump into Blender. Let me see if I can get a hold of Blender here real quick. I should have had it up and ready. Okay, this is one of them. I don't know how I'm going to get into Blender because I can't get past this. So let me see. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video, upload this part right here. Okay. If you got your level here done, you can save your level. Just go to File and hit Save. Save level as or save level. And you can even make this the level that opens when you open the little torque icon. You could just go here, open level. Save current scene as the editor default, so when you open the game, it's going to open this. Look for the next tutorial, which is going to be importing shapes. I just wanted to show you this because it's very important, and I don't want to forget it myself. Okay, and next tutorial is going to be importing shapes from Blender. It's kind of tricky to get the right DAE shape to work in here, and the material has to be put on a certain way. Without the material, it will not load. I will show you that in just